Yo, what's going on, Hope Society, and thank you all for joining me again on this Hope Filled Saturday. Each and every Saturday, you guys already know we're doing our Saturday empowerment and financial literacy with your boy, Mr. Hope. You guys see I got my Hope Dealer shirt on. So go to my website. My book, Answer to Butterflies, just came out. It's all about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Ants do not biologically turn into butterflies, and that's the whole phenomenon in itself. It's not where we start, but it's how and where we finish. So again, go to my website, grab the book. I got some apparel on there. I got some more shirts, some hoodies. I got it all. I want you guys to really be encompassed, by this hope mindset and understanding that it's not where we start. It's all about the consistency that we have every day in order for us to move forward. So let's continue to plug ourselves with some of these reminders, and let's continue to happen on purpose. So each and every Saturday, the fact that you guys are already joining me on a Saturday, you guys can be doing anything with your Saturday morning. Some of us can be sleeping in. We got games, we got rehearsals, we got this, we got that, but you guys are joining me, and I want to thank you all very much. So let's hop into it. All right, so who is Mr. Hope? I like to start off every week with this, just to basically, for those of us just might be tuning into some of my other social platforms. I'm a motivational speaker, author, mentor, life coach, consultant, born and raised on the west side of Detroit, so shout out to the 313. Nobody's made better. I mean, it's not by coincidence that we make better made, but hey. All right, so restoring hope here, not only within ourselves, but within our families and our communities. Listen, if we were doing this for ourselves, guys, we could have been down. We could have been counting ourselves out. We could all be chilling, but we understand that if we're consistent in the things that we do every day, if we're consistent in the actions that we take, then we can really create a continuum of health, wealth, and freedom, not just for ourselves, but truly for generations and generations to come. So it's not hard work that we have to do. It's just consistency. And we get to change what's normal in our families just by choosing what we choose to be consistent within. We all know for every action there's an equal reaction. So we understand that every action applies either moving us forward or it has to be moving us backwards. So does your millions for your family start with you? Or does the ploy of poverty, confusion, chaos, dismantleness continue with you? We are allowed to apply this way to ourselves by how we decide to move. And that's what we're here for. We're gathering up those tools in order for us to truly build and create the realities that we're hoping for. So last time we got together, we talked about foresight and clarity. We talked about how in order to really end up where you want to be, you first have to have foresight. So foresight is like casting that net. It's like casting that line really far out into the sea, saying that this is where you want to be. But it's clarity that gives us our insight for everything in between. So foresight says, okay, I want to be an astronaut. But clarity says, okay, I need to take this coursework. I need to be a part of this program. I need to be involved in this. I need to do that, and etc. So foresight and clarity must marry each other in order for us to be rendered our reality and our hopes and dreams. So when we think about foresight allows us to foresee where it is that we can go. And what's special about foresight is that we're unlimited. And this is where the power of imagination, this is where the power of having a burning desire, this is where the power of understanding that it's not where we start, but it's how where we finish, because foresight has no limits. It's not where we start, but it is where you decide to finish. So right now, each and every day, you are casting foresight just by how you choose to act. You're telling the world, you're telling yourself and all those around you what it is you're capable of being and or what it is you're actually deserving of. Now every step that we take each and every day is the clarity, and it's only make it more clear where we're headed. Wow, some of us caught that. Every step that we take each and every day makes where we're headed just that much more clear. So whether we are literally or figuratively moving in a way that is permitting the hopes and dreams that we're hoping for, and or each action that we're taking is actually prohibited. But we're going to hop in that some more, okay? So that was actually last week. Before I move on, that was actually last week. So I want you guys to go back to my YouTube, my other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. I want you guys to tap into that because we dig really deep about foresight and clarity. These are some great tools, but we're not going to spend too much time. I know you guys are here, and I want you guys to go back. For those who haven't seen it or heard it, I want you guys to go pick it up. Also, I talk about foresight and clarity in my book, Answers to Butterflies. So grab your copy and get an in-depth explanation on how we can actually use these two tools for our benefit, because without these we're just aimlessly moving. We have no true direction. All right, so today what I want to talk to you guys about is be an ant now. So for those of us who already got the book, you're like, hold on, that's chapter 2 of the book. Yes. So I just want to talk about a little bit about this topic. I couldn't wait for the book to get out so that you guys can all have the opportunity to reference it. So please go grab the book, Answers to Butterflies. This is the chapter number 2. I'm going to hop way more deep to it in the book than I am today. But I really want to just explain what it is it means to be an ant. See, some of us, even with casting the clarity and the foresight and understanding where we're going, we're trying to get there before we're actually ready. Some of us are moving in a way in which we're trying to get everything, we can blame this instant gratification, this craze of having everything instantaneous, but some of us want the fruition without having done the necessary work. And it's not to say that everybody has the same path, or I have to have the same setbacks that you, or I have to go through the same thing. No, what I'm saying, are you ready for the you that is meant for the overflow and abundance? Because I can smack you with $1 million right now, or $10 billion can walk into your life tomorrow. But if you, who you are today, the mindset that you're in, is not ready for that reality or that lifestyle, you're going to eventually get back to where you are at. And it's all about the comfort. See, the comforts of an ant is completely different from the comforts of a butterfly. But in order to even begin to transform into that butterfly, we must first understand how we can maximize who we are. It's not like, oh, we realize, okay, I don't have this and that, let me go do. No, because it's not a bad thing or a negative thing for where we're at. See, a lot of times when we look at where we're at and where we want to go, it's like, oh, shame on us. No, this is where we start. It really has no application of good, bad, or you lacking, or any of that. It's all about understanding, okay, this is who I am today. This is what I'm starting off with. These are the tools I have access to. These are the resources. What am I doing with what I have while I'm asking for something different or something better? How can we know that we need an alley wrench over a flathead if we don't understand what it is that who we are today and what it is that we have to accomplish today? It's first even understanding that tools need to even be involved, or what tools need to be involved. Being an ant now makes us realize that in order for us to truly get to what it is that we're hoping and dreaming for, that we have to first realize what it is or who we are today. We have to begin to find what our mindsets are, what our habits are. And then once we fully understand our reality, what actually comes of a shock is that we're actually closer to our hopes and dreams than what we actually think and believe. But because we don't take the time and appreciate where we are, because there's so many things in the process and at the beginning that we will never ever get at the end or in the fruition of our goals. But see, we tend to rush to the fruition of our goals and we miss all the sauce. We miss all the ingredients. We miss all the nutrients. These are the things that create long suffering. These are the things that makes us lasting. We have to endure certain things, because if we don't endure it and we endure it on the opposite side, it will make us quit. We're going to be defeated. We're going to be overwhelmed. So there are things that we have to experience when we don't have enough. There are things that we have to experience when we're not adequate. There are things that we have to experience and do when we're not prepared or ready. And it's in those moments that we realize how much we really are ready, and so that when we're faced with these things, we know the minimal that is going to be required for us to soar. If we never met some of these things and where we're at, we won't be able to crush those things or be on top of those things when they begin to present themselves on the opposite side of our success. Because once we know, the one thing we know about history, that it repeats itself. If you guys have been in tune with my social media, one of the things I talk about law of rhythm and seasons, and how that we're constantly in ebb and flow of going in and out of one place to another. So if we don't maximize the seasons that we're in today, then we are already inadequately prepared for the next season. And so then that season that comes, we're still trying to maximize the season before, so then we're 10 years dealing with things that we should have been over. Which kind of makes sense why it doesn't matter what amount of money enters our life, we haven't learned how to maximize it or for it to duplicate itself. So therefore, how can we ask for another or higher amount when it's going to end up doing the exact same? It's going to spin or move the exact same. You want more time, you want more freedom, but you're going to use your time and freedom the exact same way you do now. Are we maximizing who we are today? When we catch ourselves just on this scrolling for 2 or 3 hours, do we feel convicted enough to actually begin to make moves in that moment? Sleeping in, and when we know we can just wake up that extra 30 minutes and get that workout in. But yet we want this body, we want this reality that says that our body has to be able to respond to the demand that's going to come. See, we want to be these world-renowned whatever, but there is a toll that comes on our body that will affect you mentally and physically. That even though you got the pool of the financial coming in for the service, you can't even adhere to it. And these are because we're talking about habits now. You want to wake up 30 minutes just to make sure that your body and mind is in shape for what you're asking for on a financial level. Are we maximizing who we are today? We have to be grateful. You have to love who you are. You have to appreciate these surroundings, because this is the groundwork. This is the foundation. It doesn't matter where we start. It's how and where we finish. But if you don't grab hold and grasp and become in tune with where you at, you will always be aimlessly going any which way, going nowhere. Yeah, you might meet success, but you won't even know how successful you could have been. Then you'll realize, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. Yes, if you just had began to maximize who you were with what you had. The greats, we look at people who we feel like, wow, why are they getting these things? It's because they understood how to maximize what it is they had and how to continue to maximize what it is they get. It's a system, it's a process. If you don't start now, then when? Maximize who you are today. And then do we adequately prepare ourselves for what it is that we're hoping and dreaming for of our tomorrow? Being at now. Be grateful. Be humble. Enjoy the process. Pull for more understanding of why you started here. Begin to figure out, okay, what is it in your reality that you're supposed to be grabbing or benefiting from now? See, a lot of us are in the same space. We were supposed to been move. Things are supposed to been continue to push themselves forward. But we have not took the lessons, the information, the tools, the resources, made the partnerships, made the collaborations, started the programs in the spaces that we were supposed to start them. You have these grand dreams for starting things here and there, but you seem like you just can't move. It's because, guess what? You're actually been told to start it here, but because it doesn't fit into your dreams or your reality or what it is you think. And so we need to stop leaning on our own understanding and focus on what it is that we're hearing. I know what you guys are hearing. And it's that we must maximize what we do have. Take gratefulness on where we're at. humbled by this is our starting point, and realize that we are the captains of our ship. So we actually have been privileged to be the ones that's going to make a mark coming from this particular area. And we get to make our stamp in this place. And we have been assigned for this region and for these people. And we have been assigned for this part of the earth. I'm excited for where I'm at. As much as people want to down talk, even just on a general level of Detroit, man, I'm appreciative that these are the people, the resources, the environment that I get to make the stamp in, that we get to pull a new charge of understanding from. I'm winning. You're winning. We're all winning when we maximize who we are today. So being at now, and I dive much deeper into this in the book, so grab the book. But I wanted to share this with you all today, and it's very simple. No, I know I've been drilling you guys with it, but I'll say it again. And it's just maximize who we are today. I don't want you to point any fingers. I don't want you to say wish it coulda, woulda, wouldas. I don't want you to look at anything outside of self. And I want you to think about that you have $86,400 every day. Close your eyes with me and think. You have $86,400 a day, and you get to spend it how you want. But it doesn't roll over, and every day it starts over at $86,400. Oh, look at you guys. And I see some of you guys smiling even with my eyes closed, because you just know what you would do with that money. Well, guess what? You have 86,400 minutes each and every day. 86,400 minutes each and every day. Who and what are you doing or being with your 86,400 minutes? Even with a 12-hour shift, even with 8 hours of sleep, we still have 4 hours a day. Even if we're working 16 hours, only getting 4 hours of sleep, we still got 2 hours a day. We still looking at anywhere from 12 to 28 hours a week. That's us. That's ours. That's not accounted for sleep. That's not accounted for work. Life is simple. 1 + 1 = 2. Stop looking to get all that you desire tomorrow, next week, this year, and realize you can spread these things over the next 40, 50, 60 years. We ain't here for the long run. This is a marathon. You don't just turn 70, 80 and just your brain just turns off. No. You're going to even be filled with more knowledge and resources, and that it might be then that you might be even be inspired or finally pushed to write a book. What I'm saying is that we don't have to do it all now, but we need to maximize what it is that we have today in order to do all that we're hoping and dreaming for. 86,400 minutes. How are you maximizing yourself? If it's our health, that's our issue. What are you doing with 86,400 minutes a day to say that you're taking a step forward to help yourself become more healthy? What are you doing every day with 86,400 minutes to say, okay, my wealth, I need to get that in order so it can become abundant and begin to become passive and begin to compound itself without my effort? What are you doing each and every day with 86,400 minutes to promote the freedom you want in your life? You want more free time. You want more rest time. You want more of this and that. So what are you doing today to say that my next week can look like this? What are you doing this week so you can say my next month can look like this? What are you doing this month so you can say my next years look like this? Maximize who and what we are today. Maximize who and what you have access to today. Maximize where you are in the world today. It's so easy to say, oh, this is not where I'm supposed to get it. But it's really about the effort that we are putting in. Have we done all we can? Have we accessed everything? Have we pulled out all the tricks? Have we went through all the stops? Before we're just ready to jump ship mentally and physically. Maximize who you are today so you can get to the butterfly that you're meant to be in your tomorrow. Are you okay with tomorrow? With maximizing you today? So we're gonna go ahead and switch modes real quick. We're gonna hop on a financial tip. Financially, our financial vehicles are real estate, credit leveraging, e-commerce, investing, and business ownership. So these are the 6 most common streams of income. These are the 6 most important. These are the 6 most, I would say, beneficial, guaranteed, if you will, ways that we can actually generate wealth into our life. So basically what I'm saying, that if you look at any billionaire, trillionaire, millionaire, anybody that's generating wealth, especially generational wealth, where you're seeing families continue to pass down lump sums of wealth and assets, these are the most 6 common ways that they're doing it. Everybody has at least one part of these, if not the entire 6, coupled with a couple of other things. But one of the main ones that remains consistent no matter what, everybody has a piece in it, is real estate. And so actually that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about, is real estate today. I'm going to do a little overview about just one little sub part of real estate. And it's an easy way, I won't say easy, excuse me, it's a simple way for you to get started, get introduced into the real estate game, in lieu of maybe pursuing your realtor's license. As way, also a passive way for you to continue what it is you're doing in your day-to-day, whether that be a 9 to 5, kids, this and that, and still be able to have your foot. Because every millionaire, every billionaire, everybody that has any type of wealth has real estate. They own land, they own buildings, they own houses, they own agreements for portions of water, air, underground. It's all about owning some type of land or something that stands on a piece of land. And I'm telling you, everybody that has anything with being rich or wealthy, they all have a poison in it. So we're going to talk about that today, and then each and every week from here on out, we're going to actually start diving deeper into all of these different ways, in the different unique ways you can be involved in all of these. In real estate alone, there's about 9-10 different ways you can be a real estate agent or a realtor or a real estate investor. See, that's 3 different terms, through 3 different industries within one main industry. So we're going to talk about how you can be getting the bag whatever way it makes you comfortable. So with that being said, I want to drop something on you guys really quickly. So we're going to hop right into wholesale real estate. Alright, so wholesale real estate. What is real estate? What is real estate? Real estate is basically, like I just said, is owning the land, is owning something on a piece of land. It's your ability to basically get a deed that says that you own this piece of property, whether it be the air, underground, rights to enclosed environment, or etc. Basically, you own this land, you own these buildings, and etc. So what is wholesaling? When we think about wholesaling, I want you guys to picture your larger department stores. Basically, you go in and you're able to buy something at the price that it was pretty much originally made at. So for example, when we think about a shirt, a t-shirt, before it has any labels, is worth anywhere from, let's say, $75 to $1.50, just for the cotton and everything that's used, right? So if you bought just the shirts, you be getting a wholesale price of saying that you're buying these shirts at this quantity, at this amount, and what it originally its original maximum worth is. So that's essentially exactly what we're doing when we think about whole real estate. We're buying something at a price where it's basically as is, as much as it could ever be worth against all that it is in that very moment. So just like a shirt, if we brought a brand new shirt, freshly made, and we bought it just as is, its maximal wholesale value, having nothing been done but being threaded, is anywhere, like we said, from $1.50 down. We slap different labels on it. We play with the texture of the cotton and the other things that may go into the shirt. That's when it becomes retailed or begins to be specific for a certain market. So when we think about wholesale real estate, we're talking about basically someone who is able to acquire something at its maximal value price. So what we're talking about when we think about wholesale real estate is simple, of basically understanding that there is someone who wants to sell their home, and there are people who are looking to buy homes. Now, this is going to be traditional when you look at anything involving in real estate. That doesn't matter what you're looking at. There's going to be someone that's looking to buy, someone looking to sell. When we come into the wholesale aspect of it is that the market may be saying that the house is worth this, the market may be saying the house is worth that, but you as a wholesale realtor, a real estate investor, will be able to go negotiate with a motivated seller to get them at a price of buying the house at its maximum value profit, maximum value price as is in that very moment, while you're getting someone who wants to buy within that market, within that price range as a buyer. So wholesale real estate, if you guys have already caught the drift, is basically you stepping in between someone who is interested in letting go of their property, their land, their deed, for whatever it is that they own within real estate, to you, in order for you to be able to then get a buyer to buy that deed, and you begin to profit in between, basically for making those two individuals link and exchange what it is they want to exchange, which would be the deed in exchange for the money they want to get for that property, and etc. So wholesale real estate is basically you being in between two individuals that are looking to make a deal that didn't know they were looking for each other. And that's where you step in with your different tools, and we'll dive into different ways that you will make yourself marketable and make yourself more available to step into many of deals and between many of people who are looking to do either or, buy and or sell. So wholesalers are basically, I like to put it in a kind of layman's terms, you're a glorified middleman, if I like to look at it, but I say the best and one of the most I would say beneficial, because what you do for a buyer and a seller is that most individuals are not living in the areas that they are interested in purchasing in, as well as people who are even living in that areas don't truly take the time to understanding just how much what they have is worth. So what you get to do on the seller's end is you get to educate somebody, and you get to give them confidence in what it is they own in order for them to get the maximum value profit for what it is. And what being a wholesaler is, and I enjoy this so much, is that you may not be the one that's going to facilitate the end sale. You may not get that deal, but what you know at the end of the day is that you have strengthened someone's knowledge about what it is they are holding, and you give them the ability to make the best decision for their life. And most of the time when you give people that information, they want to do deals with you, they want to do business with you, and that continues to make the full circleness of what it is you're doing, which is for profit and for you to continue to generate the wealth that you're looking for. What you have also done is strengthen the community as well, which is our overall ploy, that we said that we're not just doing this for ourselves, that everything we're doing is back in our ability to create health, wealth, and freedom for our families and our community. So on a buyer end, what you're also doing for a buyer who doesn't necessarily live in this area, or doesn't freak in that area enough, or may just could be busy with other things, is that you're giving them information on properties and areas and locations or whatever it may be, that this is a place where they can invest. And most of the time, most of us are dealing in the areas in which we live or live close to. So what you're doing again is that you're educating somebody that can come in and invest into your community. So while others, look at wholesaling as kind of a different way, some will push you to just become a realtor because they feel as though that it's not always easy, and that's the whole thing, is that we're not looking for things to be easy, but we understand that the game is simple, that if we begin to do what's needed, that these things will become more consistent for us. So what we have done at minimum is strengthen our community. And what we have done as maximum is begin to create a network of passive income for ourselves. So I'll talk about a motivated seller. So we're not just talking about sellers or people who want to sell their homes. We use the word motivated because we're looking for people who are already having interest or a reason why they will want to be letting go of their deed for whatever it is that they own. So a motivated seller is someone who has a reason why. Maybe with our condolences, there was a passing in the family. Maybe they're moving to another state. Maybe they have multiple properties that they own and they don't want to continue owning so many. It could be a wide range of reasons why this person is motivated. It's up to you to get to that reason and to identify whether you have someone who's actually motivated or if you just have someone that just has a property and just want to know. And that's where you come into the point in which you will begin to get as much information as you see fit, whatever it is, the system that you're going to become and you're going to create for yourself, as we're all going to have our own set of rules and how we actually start and finish deals. And so you'll be able to get as much knowledge as you need in order to figure out is this person motivated or is they just interested in receiving information on the market, and you'll be able to supply the necessary knowledge in that moment. So you're looking for motivated sellers. We're looking for people who, okay, listen, even if it's not with you, I'm letting this thing go. And the whole thing is they kind of had that vibe. If it's even not with you, you're going to figure out a way for it to be that it's you, that they want to go ahead and get this thing offloaded onto. So a buyer is anybody that's looking to spend or invest money in that area, and or someone that's interested in purchasing things, and basically you are just applying whatever those things are. So in the light of doing wholesale real estate, we're looking to shop to these different buyers: land, commercial buildings, residential buildings, or whatever their criteria is. And so what I have done is that I usually reach out to my buyers and I get a criteria for them. What are you buying? How much are you spending? Where are you spending, and why? And when I'm able to do that, it just makes everything more full circle, so that when things come into my plate, it's like, damn, I already have a name, a number for that exact demographic, and we can make this thing even that much full circle and passive. Because at the end of the day, we're not trying to spend a tremendous amount of time with making these deals, as this is a passive income. So this is things that we can do within that extra time we have outside of what it is that we may be focusing more time on. So this is a residual income. This becomes a part of what it is that we're doing. So this is when we allocate so many hours within the week, and it's going to bring back maximum amount of profit without that much work put into it. So basically, it's a system that we're able to benefit from, and when we are able to put in the work up front, and then on the back end it begins to produce the profit at an exponential rate. So basically, at front, we got to put in more work than we may see in our buck, but eventually the work we put in, we can begin to segue back. And I'm going to teach you guys on how those things are going to become passive and just here in a second. So then you have the opportunity of JVing. So a JV is basically called a joint venture. So maybe it's you and another wholesaler. So you have someone who's looking to sell a home, and somebody who's just like you also have people that's looking to buy homes. So maybe your people not looking to buy what you have, but their people are. So basically, two people who are doing the same thing, they can get on a contract together to basically move this whole cycle together, and you guys both benefit. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So generating business, which is exactly what I want to talk about. How we go from having to put in a little bit of work up front to basically getting the profit that we're looking for in a passive way on the back end. So types of owners, different types of owners that we have. I'm only going to touch on a few today. We'll hop in some more next week as we continue to progress on this topic, as we're going to be in this real estate topic for just a couple weeks. So types of owners: you have your absentee owners, you have your probate owners, and you have your owner occupied, and just to name a few different types of owners. So probate leads are usually basically leads that have been houses that have been foreclosed on, pre-foreclosed, or in that process. So you're able to go and help someone who's in a position of losing their home actually come out on top. So when we think about this wholesale real estate, once again, this is not just about making money. We are really strengthening what it is that we care most about. So when we think about someone who's in the point of losing their house, and we're able to say, hey, I have somebody who's willing to buy this house at this price, and that price covers their taxes owed. It covers putting some money in their pocket so they can actually go find another home. And guess what? So they don't owe any money to the city. They have money to go move and establish themselves somewhere else. And you got somebody who's willing to come in and invest in that area to make it better. It sounds like win, 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 win to me. And it's you at the end of the day that still get the benefit from making all this happen. So that's called a probate lead. So an absentee owner is someone who owns a home and does not actually live in it. These are, I find to be, very unique. I personally, I believe can be a little bit more fluid, because already has someone who owns a deed to something but don't actually occupy it. Usually this means that they have multiple and maybe you're looking to let something go, which makes your process a little bit easier. Maybe they just don't live in it and they're looking to acquire someone who can manage it. So that's a way for you to have a foot in the door as well. So an absentee owner usually has a different fluidity because they own property they don't currently occupy, what makes that actual transaction a little bit different, because also usually they come with someone who actually is living in it. So the person who owns the house sells the house with the people that's living in it. So it's called a tenant occupied or cash flowing deal. And what this does is it makes your deal actually a little bit more marketable in a lot of different areas, because what you're selling to a buyer, or what you're giving to a buyer who's looking to buy that exact logistics of criteria, maybe it's 3-bedroom, 2 baths, brick, and in this particular area, what you're doing is you're giving them a property that they want in a certain area, plus you're giving them a way to already come in making money and return their investment, because as soon as they transfer deeds over, that next month's rent goes to that new buyer. So what you're doing is helping them get an immediate return on what it is they're already purchasing. So that's uniqueness in itself. Also, I talked about owner occupiers, people who actually live in the home. Some people, like I said, are living in their home. They haven't done much to their home since they've been living in it. It's just a good move for them to have. They're kind of ready to move. They want to go to a different place, different state. And so basically what that allows you to do is help someone continue to progress in their lives as they're looking to progress, by basically saying, okay, you can take this off their hand, and also give them enough to be able to move to where it is they want to go. Or to help them generate income they need for whatever it is that they're trying to do, and they're willing to, sell their home in that process. So, different ways that we can actually get in contact with these people. And we're going to actually dive into this. Remember, today is just kind of just an overview of what wholesale real estate is. I'm kind of saying a lot and going over a lot, and that's okay. I really just want to douse you guys with the information so you guys can say you heard it, and so when we revisit it, that we can begin to dive deeper into it together. So how are we even getting to these people, or getting to a motivated seller? So we have this thing called driving for dollars. So driving for dollars literally means that you're getting in your car, you're putting some gas in it, and you're riding around with a notebook, or you got your phone notes open, and you just drive around to different neighborhoods, and you're looking for certain homes that look a certain way, that you will be wanting to do business with. So what we're looking for houses that look like they need some work. We're not looking at those abandoned, burnt down, need to be torn down or demolished homes. We're looking for homes that they may have some roofing on their yard, looks okay. So we're looking for homes that may be looking like they're abandoned, but not horrible in the aspect of that they have no value. We're looking at homes that maybe someone doesn't live there, they just own it. And we're looking for homes that maybe need just a little bit worse. We might see some broken windows, or we might see that the roof needs to be fixed, or the garage, the grass, and so we're looking for a certain style of homes in certain areas, and say, hey, this home needs some work, A, or B, this home is not occupied. Someone is just probably owning it, and hey, I can be the guy that can get them what they're looking for, and you're going to make that deal. So when we're driving for dollars, it becomes unique for our own areas. because it's not just also looking for houses that have distress. We can be looking for houses that where owners are selling, have for sale signs by owner, or we can look at homes, and we might be going to look at a home, and then a neighbor might say, hey, I'm actually interested in selling my home. I see you looking at this home. So many of things can happen just by taking your time to go and drive in neighborhoods that you would actually be interested in trying to facilitate deals in. Also, we can learn what neighborhoods to go to by contacting our buyers first and figuring out what it is they're looking for. So you're going out to look for homes that match a certain criteria based on what people are already ready to spend money on. So you might talk to one of your buyers and they say, hey, I want to be in this zip code, I'm looking for this style of house. So you go to those zip codes, you ride around, you write down addresses, and you get information that match that criteria. Then what you go and do, you take that house, you take those homes, you take their address, and you go and find the owner, you contact the owner, and you're able to facilitate the deal. So that's a lot actually sped up to how that process works. There's a lot of little in-between things that go into actually taking the address and actually getting to the actual owner. But we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But driving for dollars in a nutshell is you going out to different neighborhoods physically, whether you're on a bike, whether you're walking in your car, and you're looking for distressed properties, or you're looking for certain properties that match your criteria for the people that's looking to buy a certain demographic of homes. And what that does is allows you to begin to facilitate a deal for those individuals on both ends. The motivated seller that will become a motivated seller once you make contact with them, and of course the people that you have that will be making an end purchase, which are your partners and your group of buyers, the people who are actually spending hard cash for these properties and deeds and etc. Bandit signs. Now, in some areas, you have to make sure you are adhering to what it is that you must have adherence to. But bandit signs, basically, I know you guys all see those signs off the freeways, or you see all those signs on the side of the roads, or coming in our neighborhoods say we buy homes. You need to have a few signs. Now, I won't even say a few. You need to have signs in areas that you're looking to operate within, so that people know that someone is in this area looking to facilitate something they may not have knowledge to. Listen, as much as we live in a technological age, people don't still know how to get what they want to get from the internet. So they don't know how to go and search for how to properly sell or something. Sometimes it's also a lot of scary when they look up certain things. There's so many companies. So when it's you kind of give them a direct source of providing your number and a brief message that says what you're buying and that you're able to help them. And it's helping them understand that as a wholesaler, we want their house exactly as it is. So that's something that we're going to include in our signs. We buy houses as is, and then we provide the number. You see some of those more extravagant bandit signs that actually provide a little bit more details that says don't worry about foreclosures or tax liens, things in that. So you can advertise as much as you want on your bandit signs, but basically creating a presence beyond yourself is needed, because what you do is you're able to market yourself and shop yourself to more individuals you might not have direct access to, because you can go drive for dollars, you can get that number, and you still may not make contact. So what that bandit sign does, that when that owner or those individuals in that neighborhood are coming in our neighborhood, they're able to look and say, okay, this may be someone I need to contact. So you basically are able to make yourself more marketable in a larger area while you are still focused in a smaller region. Cold calling. And so once you generate actually getting these numbers and you're able to make contact with the homeowner, is that you are literally dialing someone's number and you are trying to basically present yourself in a way where you're not too salesy, but you're kind of getting information from them and basically position the deal. So it's called cold calling because you have given this person no idea that you're going to call, what you're calling about, and it's going to be your skills for them not to be like, click, because so when people hear certain words or certain vibes, they know what's up and they want to get off the phone. So you have to, so cold calling is an actual art. Is basically getting a list of numbers or getting information and contacting people directly with being able to provide information about who you are, what it is you're doing, and making them interested in operating with you, against the fact that they have the internet, against the fact that there's thousands of other individuals that are doing the same. So wholesaling real estate is an actual art and is an actual skill to be able to facilitate these different ways in order to generate profit and business into your life. So also realtor related partnerships, so partner with actual agents in the area, so network with people who already have access to large listings, or their actual careers are in line with basically getting this information and get it to them, so you're able to operate with people who already have access to information you don't have, and what you're able to do is give them unique information. They provide you with tools and resources, and you're able to benefit with them, and vice versa. So also next week we're going to talk about how to begin to win in your market. So that was just a very quick overview of what wholesale real estate is. Please like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel as well. I want you guys to get some feedback, and we're going to dive deeper into each of these things I talked about over the next few weeks. I was really just speeding through, and I didn't tap into deeply about some of these things, because cold calling alone, understanding how to make an unmotivated seller motivated. These are things that we're going to learn. Remember, the game is simple. It's not easy. And it's all about the consistency that we put in that's going to produce the lifestyles and the reality that we're hoping and dreaming for. So that was an overview of whole real estate. So I like to always leave you guys with some financial tips. So money date. Remember, each and every month you should be setting a date where you're sitting down with yourself saying, okay, I spent this and I made this, on a very simple note. But on a very strategic and detailed note, is that I had these streams of income coming in, and I had these expenses coming out. I have this compounding itself while this is becoming a weak link. It's sitting down and saying, okay, I need to analyze how I am wealthy. Because if I'm not being healthy as far as my finances, then how can I truly create the overflow of continuum of wealth and freedom that I would like to enter into my world? Planning meals, that's gas and that's coffee too, so making sure that you're not just buying gas, that you have a plan on how your miles add up to the amount of money you put into your car. Making coffee at home, meal planning and meal prepping. Measure your expenses. Okay, if you don't watch cable but you have this cable bill, it might be a little bit smarter for you to just go grab that other network that's only $12.99, and you be able to watch it when you are able to actually watch it. No instant purchases. Remember, we said we need to find whatever it is we're buying at least 3 different places, and then we're able to make that purchase to make sure that we're getting what? The best deal. Okay? Stop being emotional. Also, we said no emotional moves with our finances. Just because we're mad, we're not going to go out and buy things. Just because we're happy, we're not just going to go out and buy things. We're going to also make sure that we are moving in a way that's always leading us towards our overflow and abundance. Keep up with your future self, not nobody else. I'm not keeping up with my friends. I'm not keeping up with those people that's on TV. Nope, I'm keeping up with myself. I know where I'm trying to go, and so today, say I can spend this way in order for my tomorrow, so I can spend that way. Read and finance. A lot of us don't even study in our different industries. How can you become better, or how can you even become a contender and not the victim within anything if you're not a student of what it is that's going on? If you don't know better, how can you do better? So make sure you're taking the time to read and finance every week, every month, understanding how money is changing. Listen, the taxes are changing alone. That's gonna offset our entire world. Understand that. Just understand how Social Security is running out, and how that's pulling on different accounts. I would say nationally, that you guys don't even know those things are tied to. So you need to understand that there's so much more in the world of finance than you just having money in the bank. That you can actually have your money building itself, that the markets are changing. As the markets change, even in the negative way, you can still have your account set up that as the markets are going down, your accounts are still going up, or that they're staying safe. So understanding how you need to become knowledgeable, all those things. And that's why we're here. We're going to hop into all those things. We're going to talk more about those as well. Also, give yourself a goal and an incentive. If you've been managing your money how you're supposed to, listen, go get them shoes. If you've been doing what you're supposed to, listen, go have that meal. I'm not going to even hold you up because you have worked for it and you have earned it. So make sure that we're not just also keeping ourselves into this mindset of that it's just all black and white, that we also are still human, that for every thing that we are adequately adhering to, that we have to have an incentive for what it is that we're attaining for ourselves. Alright, so I am are two of the most powerful words put together for whatever comes after them shapes and changes our reality. I am are two of the most powerful words put together for whatever comes after them shapes and forms our reality. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am abundant. And I'll be more than glad to send you guys these other affirmations. But each and every day, I'm speaking at least 12 to 20 different affirmations to my life. And it all starts with the I am statements. I am shaped and changed our reality. So I am full of life and filled with possibility. I am enough and I have everything I need to get to where it is I want to be. I am a magnet for the experiences that I most desire. That's in health, that's in wealth, and that's in freedom. So Loud Radio will be officially returning next month, March. We're going to be dropping 3 videos a week on YouTube. I'm also going to be dropping audio on SoundCloud, Audio Mac, and a couple different other places. So right now, within the next week, we're looking for the first season of Loud Radio to be released. Check my social media, Mr. Hope Motivates, mrhopefeelosophy.com. So as we are going over all these different streams of income, I want to give you access to be able to tap into this market yourself. So I want you to become a wealth builder just like I am. And we are able to get some direct knowledge in Forex trading, credit restoration, and leveraging job shipping, which is e-commerce, real estate, and building a business. So the exact same things we're talking about, I want to give you guys access to a network of individuals who are also like-minded. We are all doing the exact same thing, moving the same way, and what that promotes is a compounding of knowledge and profit. So I want you guys to join the winning team, and remember that we are investing in ourselves. Wealth is always determined by our work ethic. So I want to give you guys access to these streams of income. I want to give you guys access to some more knowledge that you can tap into on a daily basis when we're not here with our Saturday. I want to give you guys access to a network of people who are willing to help you literally start making money from the first minute, not even from the first day. As soon as you get in, I want to give you guys a way for you to begin to create these streams of income into your life in a passive way. And we're talking about just putting in some work ethic and getting literally a wealth in return. So if you guys are interested in learning how to make money passively, forex trading, credit, restoring your credit, and understanding how you can use credit to make more money, how to sell things and be a part of those 3 trillion transactions on eBay or Shopify. It could be you that's selling something and making those hundreds of thousands just from the comfort of your home without even ever touching the product. We're talking about real estate, so I want to give you guys into a market where you guys can get even more information about where it is that people are already being successful, where you're at, and how you can tap right in and start pulling that cash cow as well. And then how to continue building a business. So if you guys are interested in being a wealth builder, go to my website. I have a link on there for you guys to tap in. Or you guys can hit me up directly at Mr. Hope Motivates. The links are in my bio, or email me at mrhopemotivates@gmail.com, or like, comment, or just reach out to me and I'll get you connected for you to begin to continue to win in all ways. So become a wealth builder. Also, my book Answers to Butterflies is officially out. I want you guys to go out and get your order today. So this has been Mr. Hope Empowerment Meetups. Continue having a hope-filled Saturday. Continue to happen on purpose. And thank you for tuning in. You are already favored. You are already blessed. And all your hopes, your dreams, and your desires. And I can't wait for us to continue to move to the top together. Let's go.